everybody. This is Casey right here on Wall to Wall Country and Penn Speak Radio. Glad to have everybody on board on yet another great show here. We've got an awesome artist in the house that is got quite the history of being in the country music industry. Looking forward to chatting with him a little bit. Please make welcome Aaron Watson. Hey, Aaron, how are you today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Casey.
Yeah, everything came together, and we're glad that we got you on the show, and we're very excited to talk about some of the things that you have going on. I mean, you're a man that could probably talk for several hours with all the great accolades that you have and all the things that you've done and the performances and the songwriting and such. But can you just give a quick kind of like background about, where you're from and what country means to you and how you got involved with it a little bit, just to give a little background to my listening audience, Aaron?
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up in Amarillo, Texas, which is in the Panhandle, kind of right in the middle of the Panhandle part of Texas, up in the northern part of the state. And now I live in Abilene, which is a little more centrally located in the state, and I'm married. I've been married for 11 years to the sweetest woman in the whole wide world. Her name's Kimberly, and I have three kiddos, Jack and Jolie Kate. They are 8, 7, and 5. And, music is the family business. That's how I put food on the table. We've been doing this a long time. We just put out our 12th record called The Underdog. And, it's just one of those things. We've always stayed independent. I've never been on a major record label. We've had the opportunity to go that route, but at the end of the day, I'd like to think that I'm an artist where I get to sing the songs I want to sing and wear the clothes that I want to wear, and just, I've never wanted to be controlled or dictated by a label. And, being from Texas, we have this really cool, music scene going on where an artist can stay independent and still make a good living. And, we go to new places, and a lot of times they'll introduce me as up and coming, which always kind of makes me laugh. So I say, we're not really up and coming. We're just slow and steady. Like I said, 12 albums, 15 years, and 2,000 plus shows.
Yeah.
I think that kind of...
I think that puts you in a different bracket.
Being in the up and coming category.
Yeah, I think that's on a different level.
Yeah, we've just been able to stay... what I love, we stay true to traditional music. I mean, since I've been doing this, it's, we've gone through different country music. Mainstream country music has gone through its different phases and stages, from, being pop to the music mafia phase to this bro country phase. And, and that's all good. I mean, to each his own, but, my slogan is, we're putting cowboy back in country,
right?
And that's what we do best, and that's where my heart is. So that's what we stick with.
Right. I mean, for just about ever, they've called you the honky tonk kid, and I think, right. And
that's right.
That brings back some of the roots of country. I think that's more where your soul seems to be. Bringing back the good old roots of country. Some of the big, great classic country artists who. Some you've had the honor to play with. Some, are some of the big iconic people for you. Who are some of your best inspirational artists?
Oh, I grew up singing at church. So, I'd have to say that, singing gospel songs is still, something that I love. My faith in Jesus is first and foremost in my life. So, I always have to bring that up first. But it also, helped that when I was at home, Dad was always listening to Merle Haggard records and Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings and George Jones, Ernest Tubb, Lefty Frizzell, Bob Wills. The list kind of goes on and on forever.
Yeah.
But as I got a little older, I started kind of getting into the songwriters. Guy Clark, Townes Van Zandt. Then started getting into the Texas music scene, and started stumbling on the guys like Robert Earl Keen and Jerry Jeff Walker and Gary P. Nunn, and so it's just kind of like it's always fun to get exposed to new kinds of music. And my business philosophy has always been to we're not out there to try to get famous or try to win awards. We just want to run a good business.
Right.
We want to stay. I need to stay true to my faith and my family, and stay true to my fans.
Right.
And that's what we've always done, and that's why we've been able to do what we do.
Right.
It's just God's really blessed us, so it's exciting and it's fun, but at the end of the day, it's pretty simple. It's I'm a husband. I'm a father. This is how I make a living for my family.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that really sets you apart from some country artists is you're a hardworking dude. You came up through the ranks. You hold your soul and all that to the non-traditional of the big label and things like that. But one of the things, too, is that you make a mission statement out of saying, I'm here to do what I do and what I love best. And one of the things that you mentioned earlier was the underdog. And I think that's really, really cool. Do you want to tell us more about that?
Yeah, the underdog is the title track of the new record. And it's a song that I wrote for my two little boys, Jake and Jack. Because they're at the age where they're playing sports. Things are kind of starting to get competitive. And, you have your triumphs and you have your defeats.
Right.
And, I've got two of the sweetest little boys that, every once in a while they, if they have a bad game or their team gets beat or, they have something happens at school, they come home kind of brokenhearted. And, it's as a dad, it's my job to, prepare them for those kind of situations, because that's life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've had a lot of doors slammed in my face. I've had a lot of people tell me that I'll never amount to anything in this or that, and that's just, that's something that all of us as humans, that's life. I mean,
right.
That's what those are the different struggles that we all face. But I wanted to write my boys a song that almost like a reference song that they can always go back and listen to. Years and years from now when I'm not around, they could go back and listen to the underdog and know how much I love them and know what I expect of them as men, and the song I had so much fun writing this song because I just got to pour my heart as a daddy into this song. And, that's the kind of thing that we're trying to focus on. I'm not trying to listen to country music and go, okay, well, Luke Bryan and Jason Aldean, they're singing these songs about trucks driving down to the creek. Mm-hmm. I'm not out there to try to do what that's their thing. All I can do is just, reach down deep and try to write something meaningful.
Right.
And that's my cup of tea.
Right.
And, the underdog, while I wrote the song for my boys, it also kind of describes my career. I mean, we've had a lot of doors shut in our face. We've had a lot of people say, "Hey, I understand why you're doing this, but you could never make it on this level or that level." And
right.
You just kind of have to roll with those punches.
Sure.
And and that's just part of it. I mean, I've got a friend, and he wanted to be a doctor, and I think the first 5 or 6 medical schools he applied to rejected him, and he could have given up, but he just kept on trying and kept on trying. And now he's one of the top doctors in his field. And there's those kind of stories, everywhere you go. And then those are the kind of stories that people need to hear. Not all these stories of you turn on the news, there's so much negativity. That's not what we need to hear. We need to hear these stories of inspiration and hard work and not giving up. And I think that's kind of what this record is. We won't really know for a little while how well this record has done on the national chart, but our last record that we put out 2.5 years ago, we sold enough copies of nationwide to chart it top 10 on the country Billboard chart at number 9,
right?
which just kind of blows people away that an independent artist
can do that.
Can do those kind of numbers, and that's once again we just all things are possible through God.
Sure.
So we give him 110% of the credit.
Well, I think one of the things that really makes your music stand out, Aaron, and I'm looking forward to hearing the entire album, The Underdog, is that you write what's close to you and what's close to your heart. Like you're saying, The Underdog is about your children. But another song that actually I'd like to feature today and let the listening audience give a listen to it is a little something called That Look. And if I'm right, you wrote that about your wife?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, on every record, I try to write her that special love song.
Aww.
Something that's like legit and meaningful, not like some cheesy, like little, just kind of not some cheesy little shallow love song. I mean, this is, I'm writing a song about a woman who's birthed my children, for crying out loud. She deserves something that's, a little more
right.
There needs to be more depth there. But, one thing I always try to do is when we get home from our shows on Sunday morning, regardless of how tired I am, I make it a priority to take my family to church. And one Sunday in particular, I was just cranky and hungry and tired. Probably just wanted to go crawl into bed and take a nap. But, that's taking... it's kind of one of those things where I was like, I don't need to go to bed. I got to be a dad. I need to be a husband. I drank some strong coffee and was getting ready for church. And I'm sitting there watching my wife, and she's already ready for church. She's in there making breakfast, and I hear Jolie Kate, my little girl, call for some help. So my wife says, "Hey, will you watch this stuff on the stove? Maybe stir the eggs while I run in and help Jolie Kate." So, I go in there, and I'm trying to not burn the eggs and, flipping over the bacon and all that stuff. And then she comes back in, and she takes back over, and I was just like, man, this woman is amazing. That woman is a fine-tuned machine. And, that's where I came up with the first lyrics of that song. She keeps it all together. I always come unwound. She's cool, calm, and collected. I want to paint the town. She's like a Sunday morning. I'm a dance hall Saturday night. She's like a stained glass window. I'm a Lone Star neon light. And really, this song is just a song that, it not only lifts my wife up on a pedestal, but it just lifts a lot of the mamas up on a pedestal. That there's a lot of things that mamas do behind the scenes that they don't get paid for, don't get any credit for, and I just wanted to write that kind of song. So I don't know how it's going to do on the chart. There's a lot of politics that go into having a big mainstream a hit, but it doesn't really matter to me. It was a hit at my house,
right?
And making her happy is that's top priority. So,
right.
And for me, it's already paid off dividends. So it's fun to get to write her songs.
Well, that's
sure.
That I'm sure she loves every one of them, and I'm sure our listening audience is going to love it too, because I really want to get them to hear it. And, help get it out there a little bit as well and see how it does for you. But for that, you do got to have people who will listen to it. And I think the important thing is with your music is they really need to listen to the words, and they really need to reel it into their heart. It's not, there are songs out there that are just the toe tapping or the dance hall songs. But I think one of the things that sets your music a little bit different is, every single one of them is heartfelt, and it's a story, and anybody can take it into their heart and put it towards their lives or sing that about somebody that they love. So I think we need to get that look out there for our listening audience. What do you say, Aaron?
Well, I think that sounds great.
And we're back with Aaron Watson, and that is a great little song. What a beautiful song. And I hope really people listen to the words and take it to heart. And I know even when you were telling the story and listening to the song, I just can imagine some of that stuff, kind of happening. And I think that's what people need to do. They need to imagine themselves, put themselves into the picture, so to speak, or into the song,
Absolutely. That's kind of the secret to songwriting is how can you write about yourself, but also make this a song that's relatable to, the listeners. And,
right.
And what I do is I'm a country music fan first and a songwriter second. So I that helps me kind of keep things in a perspective.
And I think you have a nice way to change it up a little bit. Some, not all your songs are love songs or whatever, but on this album, you've got a lot of great storytelling songs. And I think another one that I'd like to play for my listening audience. Now, this one's been out for a little bit. We've been playing it for a little bit. But tell us what July in Cheyenne is all about, Aaron.
Well, that song, of all the songs that I've written, that one's probably the most special to me.
Okay.
I wrote that song. That was the first song that I wrote after my wife and I lost our little girl, Julia Grace. We lost Julia shortly after she was born, October 2011. And, just I was completely heartbroken. I took some time off to be with the family, but, eventually I had to get back out on the road. I mean, this is, Daddy's got to work. And, but it was a tough spell for me because I was heartbroken, homesick, and just really struggling with my job. Getting up on stage and singing to people that are having a good time when deep down inside me, I was just devastated. And
right.
I'm not real good at faking things. I mean, what you see is what you get.
Mm-hmm.
And, out of frustration one night, I just said, God, if this is what you want me to do, I could sure use some help.
Yeah.
And it wasn't long after that where I came across something that Lane Frost's mama said. And for your listeners that aren't familiar with Lane, Lane was a world champion bull rider that was killed back in 1989 in Cheyenne during the Frontier Days Rodeo. And he was bull riding, rode for 8 seconds. He fell off the bull. The bull turned around and put its head kind of into Lane's back. Well, it didn't really look like it was that big of a deal, but somehow what happened is one of Lane's ribs broke, and I believe it punctured his heart.
Oh, geez.
And Lane passed away from that injury, and they ended up making a movie about it called 8 Seconds, and a lot of people have seen it. Luke Perry played Lane in the movie, but Lane's mom and dad are Clyde and Elsie Frost, and still in the losing our daughter Julia when we were 2 or 3 months after Julia passed away, and like I said, I'd asked God to help get me through that. I came across something that Lane's mom said, and it really put things into perspective for me. And she said that Lane was a world champion bull rider, but that wasn't his greatest achievement. She said Lane's greatest achievement came a year before he died when he asked Jesus Christ to be his Lord and Savior. And I just remember that when I came across that, it just kind of filled me up with warmth
mm-hmm.
and happiness and comfort. And I was like, wow, that's totally true. It's like I lost my daughter. Life is tough. There's people who are losing loved ones all around me. But if you're a Christian, I mean, that's the beauty of it all, is that you believe that Jesus Christ died for your sins and that you have this opportunity to spend eternity in heaven with him. And I was like, that's it. I mean, I had to be reminded of that again.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm going to see my little girl again someday. And, I've got to saddle up. I got to get back on that horse.
Right.
I got to get back to work. I got to get refocused because we lost our daughter, but God's blessed me with 3 babies that are still under my roof.
Right.
And, that song, July in Cheyenne, I wrote that song that evening when I came across what Elsie Frost had said about her son. And up until that point, I pretty much had writer's block just from everything that we'd been through. And, that song has just gone on to be such a blessing for me and my family. We got to play it at we got to play that at NFR in Las Vegas for National Finals Rodeo in front of 20-something thousand people. We played it in Cheyenne at the Frontier Days this last year, which was the 25th anniversary of Lane Frost passing away. And I got to sing it to Elaine's mom and dad, which was really special. And, it's just, this is a song that I just felt like, I'm just thankful that God chose me to write this song.
Right.
And for me, it's, the song's only a couple years old, but for me, it's one of my classics.
Right.
It'll be one that I will always play.
And, I think you ended up sort of being a vessel. That whole thing turned out where you were a vessel for something, and it had to happen at a certain period of time, and you had to be in the right state of mind for it, however you got there or why you got there. But, you turned around and kind of like paid it forward and kind of helped them.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of interesting how certain things in life work out, and it's really a great song.
Well, thank you. It really, it's, as a songwriter, I'm really proud of this one. And that's, my theory has always been that, maybe if I'd have gone a different route and I focused more on writing pop, mainstream country hits, maybe that, that would have pushed me further. As far as the mainstream thing goes, maybe that would have got me further along. But at the end of the day, that's not what makes me happy.
Right.
And I want to be known for being a good songwriter.
Right.
A guy that doesn't sell out just to have that mainstream hit. I want my long after pop hits have been forgotten, I like the kind of music that still resonates throughout the years, and people still want to listen to it because it speaks to them.
Right.
So I really feel that July in Cheyenne is one of those kind of songs. And like I said, I'm just thankful that God chose me to write it.
Right. Well, and I think it worked out the way it was supposed to for whatever powers that be that you believe in. I believe you choose your own destiny, and you have to follow what's right for you, and I think it worked out, and you got a great song here, and I want to get it out there. I want to play it for my listening audience.
Thank you.
And I think one of the things that really makes songs a little bit more special is when people understand the background to a song. You can listen to a song, and it can affect you, and you can put it in your life, and you can say, wow, that's a great song, and I feel like you're talking about me. But I think one of the other great things about songs is also when you hear the story behind it. It can still have meaning to you in your life and how it resonates about you in your life. But I think a whole nother ball game is when people can go, oh wow, wow. You know what I mean? Just kind of like a wow moment.
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely.
So
I mean, the song is only half the story.
Right. So let's get to it. I think we're going to take a real quick break, and we're going to be back with more Aaron Watson. And there you have it, July in Cheyenne. Great song, and I think you hit the nail on the head, Aaron, when you said listening to the song is only telling half the story when you listen to the words, but then you get the full story about a song when you find out how that song came about. And what a great story that gives you the opportunity to, really tell that story to people with the vessel of a tune and playing it out there for your listening audience. What a great song, July in Cheyenne, guys. And this is also on your the Underdog album, correct?
Actually, July in Cheyenne is on the Real Good Time record.
Oh, okay.
That came out 2 years ago.
Okay.
But it's on iTunes. It's it's available. You can go on iTunes right now, or Amazon, and you can download it this very second.
So let me emphasize that too, just for the sake of argument. You've got this new album coming out. You got some new music coming out. How can people find you, Aaron? Are you on the social media kind of stuff? Are you? You got a website? Tell everybody how to go. I want that song. I want that song, that look, and because I want to play it for my wife. How can they get your music?
you can go to we have AaronWatson.com, but of course I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. And of course all our albums are on iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, the whole 9 yards. We're pretty much tied into everything. And, I know, for folks wanting to come see us, I know that we are trying to start. We're going to attempt to be getting out more to the Northeast, headed out y'all's way.
Oh, nice.
Next year. So, keep an eye on the calendar. Obviously, if you like us or follow us on, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, then we'll notify you when we're headed your way.
Yeah.
But
well, hey, listen, let me throw this out. Let me throw this out there before I forget too, Aaron. If you are ever in the Northeast Pennsylvania area, and you want to take a pretty little drive up a Pennsylvania mountain, you're more than welcome to see us. We'd love to have you in the studio for a few moments, play a couple of your tunes. I mean, the doors to the Penn Speak Radio studios are open always to my artists, and we would absolutely love it if you had a few minutes to spare to swing by. It would be awesome to see you.
I would love to. When we're headed your way, we'll come see you.
That would be great. And remember, everybody, you can find him just about anywhere. I just want to reiterate this. The way you spell it is Aaron Watson, Watson. And you can find him at AaronWatson.com. And you are, I almost had a giggle for such a classic, homegrown boy artist that you are. You're on just about every social media that's out there, and I'm sorry, I just had a giggle at that.
Yeah, well, I giggle at it too. It's not exactly what I signed up for, but that's kind of what it is these days, isn't it? So
now, are you the guy? Are you the guy that answers the tweets and the and the posts? Or
oh yeah, I've got all kinds of. You should see my phone. I've got all kinds of apps where I do all kinds of things.
That's awesome.
So.
Well, I think that's just wonderful. So there you have it. Another artist that will be the one that if you have a question or you want to know where he's performing or when he's heading up here to the Northeast PA area, or you want to know when his song, you could just tweet him and he might respond.
I'll respond for sure. Absolutely.
Well, that's totally cool. Before we let you go, Aaron, I want to close out my show. And if you guys are listening to me on a Wednesday, keep in mind that this entire show re-airs on Sunday morning with the show starting at 8, and all the interviews are in the second hour. So if you're kind of just joining us and you're missing out on hearing everything that Aaron has to say already, and some great music, including That Look and July and Shan, and talking about the Underdog album, make sure you're listening on Sunday morning because you'll be able to catch the whole thing all over again. But there's another great song that you have on this album, and I want to play it at the end of the show to remind everybody how to find you and get their hands on your music and things like that. And it's a little something called Getaway Truck.
Yeah, this is a fun song. When we were recording the new record, after we had recorded the first 10 songs, I was letting my wife listen to the record, and she said, I feel like you still need a couple of more like upbeat, fun, more youthful songs. And I said, okay. I said, I can respect that. So I started working on some of these songs. So I wrote 4 or 5 songs kind of along those lines of what she was saying she thought the record needed. And I came up with this Getaway Truck song. And it's funny, we recorded it. And of course, guess what song all the girls want to hear at the show? They all want to hear Getaway Truck. And the funniest part is that when every time I get in my truck, my baby girl, Jolie Kate, who just turned 5, she says, Dad, I want to hear song number 5.
Aww.
Song number 5 on the new record is Getaway Truck.
Of course.
If my baby girl likes it, then I'm going to have to play it. So I hope your listeners enjoy it. And I just want to say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be on your show.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. You're out there on tours. You're answering all those tweets and posts. And, for a man who's truly the down-home, heartfelt singer, songwriter, independent artist, you guys really need to get out there. Everything that means something to this man is basically summed up in three things: family, faith, and his fans. And his fans are very important to him. And I think you would echo that sentiment. I am correct on that statement. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So become a fan of Aaron Watson. Maybe you've been a fan forever. Maybe you're just hearing about him for the first time. But whatever the case may be, this is a man, and his music definitely needs to get into your iPod or whatever the hell you call those things,
Absolutely. Just download it. Get on the internet and download it. All proceeds go into my wife's purse.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
That's awesome. Well, please say hi to your lovely wife, Kimberly. Give your kids a hug for us. And I
will.
I can't thank you enough, sir, for taking time out of your day. It's been an awesome interview, and we're looking forward to more great music coming out of Aaron Watson. Find his new album, The Underdog. Find him. The webpage has just about every link you can imagine on it, so make sure you look it up. It's AARONWATSON, AaronWatson.com. You can find his tour schedule, his music. He's got a store on there. I love the store. I love the big T-shirt on there, the big long-sleeve T-shirt that says The Underdog on it. So wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I'll get you one, girl.
I would wear that in a heartbeat. I love long-sleeve shirts.
One.
Well, that would be great. But he's got some good stuff, and you can get his CD on there, and then you can package it together and get some other fun things, too. So check this guy out. Please check him out. And, like I said before, the doors are open. We'd be looking forward to hearing from you again, Aaron. And, of course, if you ever have the chance, stopping by. Thank you so much, sir.
You bet. Thank you, sweetheart.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.